Betrayal.
Well, she said, well,
Turn around if your mother died.
full circle.
Full circle, always to the right.
Nice projection on that one.
On to it, see grief. 1, 2, 3.
Grief. On behalf of the entire flight crew, I'd like to be the first to welcome you to your grief trip.
I remember going back to school and feeling like I had a big, like a scarlet letter. I felt like I had a big D in my chest, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, her mom died." And I didn't want to be known as the girl whose mom died.
You know what grief is, man. Have you had someone die?
No.
So how would you know what to tell me what grief looks like? Why don't you show me what grief looks like? Show me what grief looks like. Take my spot, show me what grief looks like. Show me what grief looks like. Move me around, show me what grief looks like.
Hold this, please. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
And then,
This is
Little more.
grief?
Little more.
Are you sure this is grief?
there.
Are you sure? Hi! My name is Cyrus. I am 15 years old, and as you can probably know right now, I like music. And I like to play music, and I like listening to it. I try and incorporate it in every aspect of my life.
My dad, his name was Keith. He died when I was 9 years old. He had cancer in his esophagus. And I just, looked at him as daddy, let's go play baseball, let's go play basketball, let's go run around the park. And he'd always just have music playing. And I was just so fascinated by it because, like the first time I heard Buffalo Soldier by Bob Marley, I was just fascinated. I was like, this is such a great song. Then when he died, I lost interest in pretty much everything except for the things that, influenced his life. I wish I could be my dad, really, I do.
I'm Steffi, I'm 13, and I love to play sports. This is a picture of me and my dad from a few years ago. It's when we went to a daddy-daughter dinner dance with a whole bunch of my friends. And my mom made this blanket out of his own clothes and everything. And these are his hats, and then he only owned 2 ties, and this is one of them, and then this is the piece of another one. And then my mom just sewed little things on the outside.
Some of his favorite things.
We always play with fireworks every 4th of July. We always sang Christmas carols Sleigh Bells Ring, Are You Listening? And then he taught me how to weld.
Cool.
Yeah. And then these are his old pajama pants and stuff, and his old jeans.
This is really special, huh?
Where do you keep it? On my bed. And it smells like him because my mom sprayed his cologne on it.
I'm Emily, I'm 15, I love music and writing.
My mom died of supposedly a blood clot, but we don't know yet. And I never really hung out with her. I never really talked to her. I was daddy's little angel kind of thing. But I regret that a lot. And that's the picture.
This is your adoptive?
My adoptive mom. I was adopted at birth to my adoptive family, which is that mom and my dad. And I look at the people that adopted me as my parents. I don't look at the person that gives birth to me as a parent because, yeah, they gave birth to me, but they weren't there changing my diapers when I was tiny or anything like that. One thing my mom had about her was anyone could talk to her. I'm the little blonde one. But she had a really good personality. She was diagnosed with MS, so she was in a wheelchair, and that was kind of hard because I don't know, like she didn't like asking for help at all.
My name is Sarah, and I'm 13. I played the piano for 8 years, and I also really enjoy sports.
This is my dad. I actually don't know when this was taken. My grandma gave it to my mom for Valentine's Day. But this we had made after he died, and I don't know, I guess it's kind of like lasered on there or something. And this was, I think, one of the last dates that my mom and dad went on before they got married. This is just the piano music for the song Angel by Sarah McLachlan. And this was one of the songs that we played at his funeral.
I'm Katie, I'm 15, and I love to draw, paint, and sculpt and play. It was one of my mom's favorite CDs, and it's like a CD of like Celtic women doing ritual songs from like ancient times. I was really close to my mom, and she's the one who understood me more. I also have this picture of her on her 47th birthday.
I'm Kristin, and I'm 16 years old, and I love just like expanding my mind and broadening my horizon as much as I can.
This is my brother. I'll pass it around. And I was 9 when he moved down to Arizona to go to college. And then before that, for like 3 years, he was like out off with his friends and stuff. And like 16-year-olds aren't going to want to play with 6-year-olds, you know? So I just don't have that many memories with him. So it's kind of frustrating. I wish I could have known him like more like adult to adult, because I'm like really mature. So I know that like I could have a pretty good relationship with him now. And I just wonder like how different things would be if he was here.
I'm Zach, I'm 18. I've been a student leader at outdoor school several times, and it's one of my favorite things. I love the outdoors, I love teaching people, and I hope to continue with that.
My mom and my grandmother were both killed in December of 2004. In the group I just say killed, but it's kind of an easy way of saying that they were both murdered by my mom's ex-boyfriend at the time. And the next day when I woke up, my dad called me downstairs, and that's when I found out what happened. And I didn't know what really happened for a few hours, because there was he also set a fire after he did that. And so if I would have brought something, I would have brought some. I still have some pictures and a few things, but most of it was destroyed or damaged too bad in the fire. Probably the two biggest things I have is, well, I drive her car, which is not just a free car, but the summer before she was killed, her and I drove up to Canada and spent 2 weeks up there. This place called Ladner, which is right outside of Vancouver, and it's a really beautiful place. And so I have that, and then also our dog's, his name's Santana. He's a black lab. We got him a few years before she died, and I still have him. I don't know. He's hard to give up.
I went through this weird phase after my dad died since I was 18, and he was killed in a car accident. And I went off to college right after that, kind of like this, I can do it, I'm going to be just fine. And it was my coping mechanism with how, the suddenness of him being totally healthy one day and then dead like that. And so I my brother was the hoarder of all of his sweaters and things, and I just got rid of everything. First time I was here at the Dougie Center, we were doing a memorabilia circle, and I was telling this story, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me that I'd been carrying his wallet ever since the wallet that he had with him when he died in the car. And it didn't even occur to me. It was just like this thing, and it's constantly with me.
My mom died a long time ago when I was 12 years old, which was 18 years ago. And we didn't have cell phones then, but now I have this really cool camera phone. And I have photos of people in my phone, and so I took a picture of her photo with my phone. So I actually have her in here. This was probably just a few months before she died, and we were on vacation, I think, like in Cape Cod or something, maybe, or Maine.
Well, we've definitely become closer. We've definitely become friends. Like, at the beginning, we were all awkward and, like, not that close.
I did not expect that I would grow to like these people at all. I joined because I heard I was going to drum. I was pretty surprised about what it turned out to be.
The first time I met him, it was just like really awkward. I'm always the youngest one out of everything, so I'm used to it.
When I came into it, I was really on the fence. Like, I was actually leaning more towards not joining the group just because, like, the first meeting, like, orientation thing, like, I realized that everybody was younger than me, and, like, I'm very mature for my age, and so I don't really like dealing with a lot of immature people. So, I was like, oh, well, you know, should I do this? They're all younger than me, but then, like, I got to know them a little bit more during the retreat, and they were all, like, very mature for their ages, too, so I was like, well, I'll try it.
I feel like a peer, we're all just, like, the same. No one's, like, younger or older, really.
Before dinner, we're hoping that we'll have some rough ideas of performance pieces. So I will definitely want you all to be present and participating in the things we do, but if you can kind of check in with us and let us know where you're at, then we can help gear the day towards your level of participation and kind of how you feel in terms of engagement. We'll have, hopefully by the end of this weekend, a lot of, like, a whole list of different ideas that we could do pieces on and start to narrow it down and really find out where the energy is. And I feel like that's already happening. Just focusing in and starting to work on pieces and start to see them come together. It was this one that I really struck.
Oh, is that the one that I wrote?
Don't ask me when I'll be over it. I never will be. Don't tell me that you understand. Nobody can. Don't tell me I am grieving wrong. Everyone grieves differently. Don't say you're sorry. It wasn't your fault. Don't tell me that it will be okay. It never will be. Because I am different from you, different from everyone. There is nothing anyone can do to change that. Though I appreciate what you do, I will need you when I need you, and that time is now.
I knew that probably writing would be my strongest area because, you know, I had always liked to write, and especially after my dad died, you know, writing was a way that I could always just express myself. But, you know, I definitely didn't think that there would be all the acting and, you know, the playing off the songs, and, you know, I didn't think that those would be ways that, you know, I would be able to express myself.
I love to cook.
You too. And if you really knew me, you'd know that I love pasta.
I know that.
If you really knew me, you'd actually know I'm an actually good pasta cook. If you really knew me, you would know that I make really good cheesecakes.
If you really knew me, you'd know I actually like to take pictures.
You really knew me, then you would know that I used to be really good at basketball.
If you really knew me, you know that I could eat sushi 3 meals a day.
Me too.
Me too. Okay.
Oh, if you really knew me, I'm fast.
It's so different from the atmosphere at school. You know, there's people here that you can talk to all the time. And, you know, you're always looking forward to hearing how other people's weeks went and then just being able to kind of release everything that's happened during the week and just, you know, be yourself.
In the kitchen, some of us were talking about, like, some things that we do that we don't really tell people about because they're just, like, these secrets, these kind of private, embarrassing things that we think we'd be judged by others about. and we all seem to have some of those. I have more of my dad's clothes in my closet than my own, and sometimes I put them on and say things that he used to say. When I was younger, my dad used to read me my favorite stories and tell them wrong to see if I could correct him. So sometimes I read those stories like he used to. I have a wall next to my bed, and at nighttime the wall feels cold. Most of the time I end up holding the back of my neck while I sleep because it tickles a little bit.
Forever young people stay. And never, never land. Forever you can play. Come play with me and stay young forever. Come be my best friend. Come and stay with me forever. A fantasy world full of dreams. A fantasy world never for me. This is a world with which I never got. This is a world that I've only thought.
This is your grief right there. That candle on the paper plate.
Being vulnerable is being strong. Showing your emotions is a scary thing. To be able to just put it out there, it takes a lot of strength.
This one song, I Hope You Dance, made me think of her. And one time we were on the plane to Europe. I was on this station where it's like Rihanna, all that hip-hop stuff, and then suddenly the channel changes. I didn't change it, nobody else changed it, it just changed. And that song was on. I stopped breathing for a second. It just felt like she was there with me.
Just feel like all of those people are in this room right now. When we lit those candles, it's like bringing the presence of the people that we loved in here.
I think we've also done a pretty good job. We've all done a lot of hard work today and created a safety for one another. And built some trust and closeness.
We can just kind of take it down a notch. I feel like we pushed really hard yesterday and burnt out by last night. And I don't want to do that to you guys. Just a time of getting to know each other and more exploring ideas. And we have a lot of time to narrow down what is the most important to you all.
My first few times I came here, I was like, oh, I have to go to this thing. But now I'm like, oh, I get to go, have a good time, just to hang out with friends.
I can't do that.
Do such weird things. What are you even doing? How are you mentally? Where are your thoughts? Freeze. Jump, half turn. Freeze. Keep walking. How are you feeling? Where are you emotionally?
Zap.
Zip.
I'm so confused.
Zap.
Zap.
Zip.
Zap.
Zap.
Zip. Zap.
You really stayed focused and you got a rhythm going really fast. I've seen groups take a really long time to get a rhythm going.
1, 3, 2.
Even if you think that you're not very creative or whatever, like, you probably have some kind of creative side, and there's something that you can do very well and, like, contribute to the group.
What does anger look like? And let's see. Sadness. Take a look at your friends. Let's see. Embarrassment. Wow, these are so cool. All right, good job and relax. Freeze. Jump, half turn. Freeze. And keep walking.
Steffi.
I didn't know how I was going to deal with it. I felt so sad.
I walk in the room and immediately it's awkward and I've never been there before.
You sit over there. So you go and sit over there and your friend.
What are your colors?
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like that? Oh, it's different. Oh, okay.
All right, now switch roles.
Okay.
I'll probably not.
There you go. Okay.
I came to school 2 days after my dad died.
I'm very nervous on a stage. Before I started going to outdoor school, I was very nervous even talking in front of a big group of people. But something in me told me to do it. Just that it would be fun, and it has been fun, and that it'd be beneficial to me and the people I'm showing it to.
I have built good communication skills in here, and I can use those outside of the troupe and talk about it with other people and brainstorm ideas and come up with things and really put them together and get them rock solid, because that's what we've done here. We've gone from having barely any ideas, basically nothing, and we've gone from that to having a full half-hour show basically on our own,
You're 7, come on, start taking some responsibility. I'm 7, I don't need responsibility.
But I'm not sure they'll understand the fact that I sneak out. That's kind of being disobedient to them, don't you think?
I really didn't have no idea. I didn't think we'd have funny things like our song parodies and stuff like that. I thought it would be a lot of serious monologuing and maybe a couple skits, but it's a lot more creative than I thought.
I like the people here because they're all really nice and you can relate to them and they won't make fun of you or anything like that.
I'm very glad I'm doing this. I feel like I've just gotten a lot stronger bonds from these people, and that they've helped me a lot, and I've helped them, and that we're going to help more people doing it.
Everyone gave a lot of good ideas. We got a lot done. And if we could be productive like this every week, that's what I could look forward to.
I didn't think we were going to accomplish this much. If anything, I thought it was going to be a lazy day, but I'm really happy about that.
I like that we got Emily's poem down pretty good, have all the stuff that we're gonna do for that.
Today was just awesome to see how graceful you guys were in working with each other. Aside from everything that was accomplished, there was just the way that it happened. It was this really graceful role playing between leading and receiving and including everybody. I mean, considering that none of you are 20 years old yet, that's pretty, there's a lot of wisdom here.
I am looking forward to seeing you under the bright lights. That'll be so cool.
I just like the way that our different personalities kind of balance each other. None of us are the same. None of us are very normal people. We all kind of have our own little weirdness, and I like that.
There are all different kinds of people in this group. There's writers, there's singers, musicians, just all different kinds of people. And I think I've really enjoyed, seeing the different ways that people express themselves, because it's taught me a lot. And, I hope that I have helped other people too.
I'll tell you what I've been doing. I wrote down a lot. I have 3 pages of notes about what we did last weekend, about the different themes that came up. And I'm keeping just a running list that we can keep adding to the themes that are up on the board. Inheriting different traits or characteristics in the person who died. Readjustment to school and peers. Would you be willing to give up what you have gained for what you lost? All the different variations of turnaround if. Flowers and casseroles.
It's not new. I mean, I'm in a lot of creative things, but I'm very surprised of how creative everyone else is and how fast it's been going along. And the first couple of weeks really just zooming by, so I really like that.
That's why we're doing it, to figure all this out. And I actually
No. We had them over there, and then I read my thing over there.
Okay, so Sarah's reading over there, and you're picking up your suitcases on the stage, and you guys are all lined up on the stage with your backs to the audience.
And we all just have our bags.
Yes.
Dead, moved on, left, deceased, departed, still, perished, unresponsive, away, spent, taken out of their misery with God. It just doesn't matter how you say it, because it all leads back to one thing, a broken heart. Death is not an easy thing to deal with, and it seems as though it is even harder to understand. And trust me, I've tried. I started by looking in a dictionary. What the dictionary did tell me about death was that it's the act of dying, the end of life, the total and permanent cessation of all the vital organs in an organism. That's it. Mr. Webster put all the feelings and everything associated with death into that sentence right there. No, What the dictionary did not tell me was how I'm supposed to deal with it. How I can mend my broken heart and come to peace with how my life is now, not how it used to be. So I went to look for a friend, a peer, somebody I thought that I could relate to. I came to them and spilled my heart out time and time again. When they couldn't give me the answer I was looking for, that I am the only one that has ever been hurt, and that my life is more unfair than anyone else's, I shut them out. They didn't understand. I didn't need them because they didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. But I was the one that didn't understand. And because they wouldn't tell me what I wanted to hear, it was exactly why I needed them. But that still didn't tell me how to mend my broken heart.
You know, we've had lots of funny experiences, lots of, really sad and really bonding experiences. September started off like any other September. My dad had been sick for a while. He had been in and out of the hospital. Things didn't look good. And that's hard for a kid of 9 years old. It was really cold that morning that my aunt woke me up. When we got to my house, there were cars parked outside of relatives I never see. Just my whole family was there from both sides. And I went inside and I didn't even think about, why everyone was there. I just wanted to see where my mom was. So I went upstairs. Everyone was pointing, just up the stairs. Cyrus, your mom's up there. And I went upstairs and I just heard crying. And my mom was laying in bed and she rolled over. And I said, "Mom, what's wrong?" And she looked at me straight and just told me, "Daddy's gone. He's dead."
I want to try something with you guys. And if any of these, you're like, let's not include this, or if you have another idea. So, turn around if your brother died. Turn around if your father died.
Turn around if it was an unexpected death. Turn around if you got to say goodbye.
The last time I saw my mom and grandmother, not knowing it was the last time, we were celebrating my grandmother's 76th birthday, and we celebrated like normal and watched a movie, and I told them I would talk to them the next day and gave them both a kiss and then left.
Turn around if you've cried since the death.
Normally, I don't normally have very many outlets for it. I'm kind of a very quiet griever, I guess. Like if you see the turnaround if, I haven't cried since the death, and the thing is I want to, but something about me just kind of tries to keep that in, and this is a way to get it out.
Turn around if at times you felt like you were out of control.
I would start lying to my dad. I would sneak out. I would just do anything that I possibly could to get away.
I started cutting and lying to my mom and sneaking behind her back. I was just experimenting with everything I could possibly get my hands on. It was just out of control.
Turn around if you physically hurt yourself since the death. It was the only thing I could control. Turn around if you have regrets.
And the night before she died, she's like, if I don't feel better by tomorrow, we're going into the hospital. She didn't talk to my dad about it. She talked to me about it. And, I just felt like if we went to the hospital that night, they would have found the blood clot. They would have, she would have kept on living, And I can't talk right now.
Turn around if you've gotten over it. Turn around if you think you'll ever truly get over it.
The last thing I said is I promise I'll come back. And I never got to
Stands.
It seemed like forever for the ambulance to get there. There was police, there were fire trucks, but there wasn't an ambulance. And so then the ambulance came and I don't know, they had her down on the ground, which I didn't like to see at all.
The doctor pulled us into a room. All right, you guys, he said, Bob is not doing well, and you have 2 options. If you take option 2, he could last until tomorrow night. I'll leave you now with those choices and come back to see what you've decided. The room looked and felt empty. The absence of his soul made the room unbearable to stay in, so I didn't stay.
December 8th, 2004. I wouldn't get out of bed because I felt too tired from last night. My mom told me to get out of bed, and that was my last warning. So I crawled out of bed, and I walked into my mom's bathroom. She started yelling at me and told me to get out.
Intense. How was that?
A little hard.
Sarah, can you relate? For your stories of grief, for those of you who are doing them, what we'll do so that you can have notes is use a music stand. I like the idea of you walking around. I think it would probably look more polished.
Yeah, if you have note cards.
Note cards might do it.
I don't know.
Practice every day.
You could try it both ways and see what feels more comfortable to you.
All right. Sarah reads her story.
On stage, right?
Story, cry, cry. The last words that I said to my father were, Dad, I promise I'll come back first thing tomorrow to see you. He died 10 minutes later.
He's wondered whether your intention is to catch eye contact and to really connect with the audience, because he said sometimes he would notice that people would catch his eye and other times it seemed like people were like avoiding eye contact. So
if I look out in the audience and make eye contact, I'll start crying.
I started asking her if she could hear him. There was no response. She probably died there on the floor. That's not how she was supposed to die. She was. It is better than that. There are still times I feel empty, alone, and cold. But I will pull through. With the knowledge that my father died a hero, I'll be okay.
sometimes people don't acknowledge that like theirs may not be the right thing to say, and it is uncomfortable, and death is messy.
You never want to hear that word again. I'm sorry.
So I think what's important is to remember just sharing our own experiences and our own stories, letting the audience walk away with something to think about.
I had a lot of really good friends, and they just need to say that sucks. They never said sorry. They just said that sucks. That really sucks.
They can look at you in a certain way, or just hug you, or just in a different way rather than saying they understand, just letting you know they understand.
So let's say Zach's just standing there and you guys create a machine in response to him and around him about rumors and kind of how people respond.
Yes. I think it worked out how the two people that were saying they were sorry were around him, and the people that were spreading the rumors were like over here going, oh my gosh.
And if you guys can think about it, really, what is this true experience like? Because you've all probably been on both sides of the equation. Instead of acting it, like really feel it, do be it.
I like acting, and I just feel that it's a really good way to express myself and to teach other people what it's like, so they'll be more aware of it and not be so strange won't be so awkward about talking to people whose parents or sisters or brothers have died.
We all, who's ever on this side, and we'll exit that way. So I step forward, exit. So I make sure I'm in the middle.
You need to be in the middle. Kristin, start us off, and remember to get up some kind of big motion.
I'm sorry. Is that big enough? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
I feel like I'm being proposed to.
Cyrus, will you try doing this? Just like a
annoying.
I'm sorry. I understand.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? I'm sorry. Are you okay? I understand.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
You'll get over it.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
Sucks.
This is good. You'll get
I'm
over
sorry.
it.
I understand.
It sucks.
You'll get over it.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? I understand.
You'll get over it.
I'm sorry.
School really has been a stressful thing.
It was third period, and then I had to walk into the middle of the class while the teacher was teaching something. So it was like everyone was watching me. I didn't know what many people in my school to know, so I just asked my friends to just tell my close, just like my good friends in school, and I asked them to tell them. And then somehow everyone in the school knows, and they started gossip about it.
Let's try doing it strictly rumor one, and then we'll do a strictly response one.
Okay. Oh my gosh, did you hear that?
Did you hear what happened?
Oh my gosh, believe it.
That's not what she said.
Oh my gosh,
I can't
did you
believe
hear
it.
that?
What
I
did she
can't
say?
believe it.
That's
Oh
what she said.
Because before I, didn't know that I would connect with these people in the way that I have, and I didn't know that, I would find so many different ways to look at, things, look at death, look at, the reactions you get and the stories that people have. So, I think I've learned a lot just in the short time that we've been here. I don't know, this could totally ruin this entire thing, but whoever's doing, the first school scene, they, the first thing that comes into mind is whoever's doing Everybody Knew before, you came back or whatever. So that could be, everybody's talking and they already know, and then there's one person who's doing the scene that comes in and everybody already knows.
And everybody stops like you.
Just I think that's awesome.
Why would she come to school?
Good choice.
How did it happen?
Why would she come to school?
She's lying.
How
Why would she come to
happen?
school?
That's not what I heard.
Why would she come to school?
Maybe bring the chairs in and then just take a seat.
Yeah, bring a chair and sit down in it. And then we can just bring the lights up, and we'll start with us all sitting there, and I'll be like, did you hear what happened? Oh my gosh, guess what happened?
People asking me, how it happened, when, and, oh my god, did she really die, or are you lying?
Oh my gosh, did you hear? How did it happen? Why would she come to school?
I think she's lying.
That's not what I heard.
Well, that was awkward.
It happened on a Saturday night, but nobody found out until Sunday morning, and I went to school on Monday, and my counselor had been informed and the principal had been informed, but he, I guess, didn't tell any of my teachers, so I showed up at school, and nobody really said anything. Then I had to tell one of my teachers that he asked me something about, something coming up, and I said that I have to be gone for a few weeks because I had to go through and do all the insurance stuff for the house, and so he asked why, and I just was really surprised because nobody had told anybody, and so I had to tell most of my teachers about what happened.
And now you're going to bring your chairs in, but you're going to bring them onto the floor.
Okay, so we'll walk way up to the floor and angle them.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it, school scene?
Yes. Well, I think we really need to decide the point of the piece.
Don't put the kid on the spot.
Yeah, because if it's don't put the kid on the spot, then I think that the scene will go differently.
Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Hello, students. You all know that there's a death in our community, in our school.
Zach, did it ever get any easier?
Yes. And I can picture Cyrus doing kind of like a disappointed little, he wasn't happy with that answer, and just keep on staring at me.
Could you maybe elaborate a little bit?
Well,
Yeah, like you saying less and being really awkward and uncomfortable and everybody staring at you.
I thought it would be a lot more I didn't think it would be so much about our own personal experiences. I thought it would be a lot more scripted to kind of show, more of a, like a stereotypic view of what kind of stuff happens, not our actual personal things, which I like better. It is more personal.
Cyrus, if you could remember to grab this when you're off stage, it'll be on there, and then just grab it, and then come up here and
here's all your schoolwork, and if you could get that done in the next week or two, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you.
What's wrong?
Look at this fatty pack of work she gave me.
Morning, class.
Morning.
Stephanie, can I talk to you for a second?
You've missed a lot of homework since you've been gone, so here's your homework, and I was just wondering if you could get it done in the next couple of weeks or so.
Sure.
All right, you may go sit down.
How am I supposed to get all this work done in just a few weeks?
That's so much. Look at that.
I know.
Stephanie, can I talk to you again?
Again, during the school scenes, when Emily pulls Steffi up, during Steffi's school scene, is our talking and goofing around too distracting to what Emily's saying? No. Oh, okay.
I know it must be hard losing someone in your family, and if you want, you can
Go to the office if you need to. Then totally let me know, okay? Can I go to the office?
Yeah, here.
I want to make sure there's a pen on that clipboard.
Yeah, so I don't look like stupid. Belle, please. It's definitely impacted me and just helped me realize how much more I have to share.
Bringing back your commercial idea of being we interrupt this program for an advertisement from some kind of a music company, and how they have those cheesy things, those cheesy compilations of different music of 80s love songs or Kids Bop. There you go. And this is grief songs. So is this something that we should revisit?
Yeah,
write it
I
down.
think it'd be really funny.
Hey, I'm Zach Attack Gage, bringing you the hits of the Grievers Bop by the Scarlet D's, with classics such as... Oh, yeah. Let's talk about death, for those who need to get it out in the open.
You guys gotta big.
Yes!
Let's talk about death, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about death. Let's talk about death. Let's talk about death. Let's talk about death.
So for Let's Talk About Death, you gotta be like, death! So that they don't hear sex. Okay.
And for you crazy cats who just want to get away, I ran.
Cyrus doing some kind of running.
That should be Zach and I think.
Will you do it together? All right, sweet.
Yeah, all of you do this.
I just ran. I ran all night and day.
Couldn't get away.
We should all stop and be like,
Get
away.
Yeah. No, I stop.
So cheesy.
I agree. By the moon and the stars in the skies. I agree.
Should we bag that one?
Yeah.
Do you want to bag that one?
Yeah, because I'm really not.
Okay, let's bag that one.
And this is for the crazy cats out there who are just too busy living to be down.
And then, hey, we're the Grievers. People say we mope around, but we're too busy living to always be down.
So down. Another note there.
To always be so down.
I still don't think I can sing, but I think I'm a better actor now.
The last one, that's what the Dougie Center is for. Everybody could be sitting at the front of the stage with their legs dangling off, doing the arm cheesy thing. Then it goes into secrets. So you guys are already in your position for the lights to go off.
This last song was a bonus track on the CD. This is a place I love called the Dougie Center. And this is what it's for.
Let's join them.
Let's.
Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always
this troupe brought out a lot of emotions and expressions in me that, I wasn't able to show before. Now, I think, being around people that are older than me, I've become a little bit more, outgoing, I guess. Like, I've met more people, and I've become more okay with expressing, my emotions. And the way I see it is people are either going to accept me for it or they're not.
I'm thinking about things that I haven't thought about in a while. Like feeling things that I haven't felt in a while. And it's just kind of bringing up like new stuff.
How is that for you?
It's all right. My mom and I have kind of fought a little bit more, but I think it's for the better because we've come to more like understanding of each other.
It's impacted me because I stopped going to the Dougie Center for a while. It's kind of like reminding me how helpful it really was, and bringing back memories that have just kind of been almost thrown away, in my head.
I'm so lonely. It's kind of scary. This kind of lonely. It's making me weary. I'm so lonesome I could die.
It's been good to bring those back and just start thinking again about the death. Haven't really thought about it in a long time.
When my brother died, my mom was completely different, and our whole house was different. Bookshelf 10 feet high and this wide, just full of all this stuff about him, and pictures and poems and all this kind of stuff. And then my friends would come over and they'd be like, why is there a huge shrine in your living room?
So the songs are over and you guys are sitting on the edge of the stage. Cyrus introduces, Kristin does her poem, lights out.
Wait, where does Kristin do her poem? Sitting here?
It's not quite done. I wrote it in a big hurry, so. I'm really sorry to say, but I'm not as sad as you.
My tears are here, but not flowing like they should. Maybe this makes me shallow, maybe even heartless, but I must say it now.
You were 21. I was only 12. You were in and out of my life in a flash.
You shattered the hearts of others when you left,
but mine was only broken.
I think that would be really good.
That's a great secret.
I'm probably going to start crying if I start reading something like that, though. Because, it feels really bad saying it.
And you can say that, too. It feels really bad saying it.
It's horrible to say, but I'm kind of relieved that she's gone. No more fighting. Yeah, perfect.
I feel bad saying it, but I'm relieved she's gone because there will be no more fighting.
And then we're all saying the secrets as we sit down here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so secret.
Then
family photo shoot.
Family photo shoot.
I had no idea what the pieces or anything like that would look like because I was just completely in the dark with that. I didn't know at all. But the people and my bonds with them are a lot better than I expected.
Everyone says there's no right or wrong way of grieving, and maybe that's true.
Now let's see what a sculpture of grief looks like.
She's furious. Why did this happen? And he's just bawling his eyes out because he can't believe it. And she is in such shock that all she can do is lay there.
And I thought what was really interesting is when we did grief, the description, I think, were anger, sad, and something else. But they're all words that sometimes people would separate them out. Grief is separate from anger, separate from sadness. But as we all know, it's all part of grief.
A lot of your ideas go into the piece, and you're always, you're always willing to accept new pieces and take in your thoughts. It's never a shot down.
What we were going to do for this piece is create family portraits. So there's someone kind of taking a picture, and everyone else gets into a frame, into a frozen statue of what grief looks like for them, and then one person will unfreeze and recite a poem or do something, and then we'll do another photo.
Can we move around?
Oh yes, please.
Okay.
Do whatever you want to do in a family photo to represent grief.
Because it's people think that you're supposed to look angry or you're supposed to look sad or something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, let me see more emotion there.
Like, that's not grief. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I just want you guys to notice how wonderful this looks. Just the composition of this picture is really like cool with the different levels. It's interesting. It's everyone has something different going on.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, everyone say grief, and then you'd be like, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, on the count of 3, everyone say grief. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Grief.
What are you doing?
I'm angry at her, and you know that's how I show my grief.
Don't know how to say this, but that's not grieving amateurs.
This is what my grief looks like.
Well, do you think you could show it like just being like upset more rather than angry?
Like, kind of like this, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 1,
2, 3.
Grief.
All right, guys. Come on, fun. Cheery, cheery. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I don't talk to her. I don't talk about her. But I think about her. In the dark, in the lights, I miss her. I want her back. Even just for a day, or an hour, or a minute.
People think I'm strong just because they don't see me breaking down. But I do. Every day, every hour, every minute, when I think of her.
All right, good. Cheesy. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Cheese. Cheese. Cheese.
You guys are super.
The most helpful thing would have to be being able to talk about it, which is why, things like this, like the Troupe and places like the Dougie Center are so great, because you're around people, that know what you're going through and that, have similar stories, and, you learn a lot.
Talking about everything and relating to everybody else, I think it's been wonderful.
Like getting to talk to other people, not just like being by myself all the time, but being by myself helps sometimes too.
I'll never understand.
Give me permission now to change your
You'll never understand.
sound.
Not true. Not true. Not true.
Gold.
They'll never understand.
Drinking is bad for me, but it makes me feel better. Dying is bad, but it makes me feel better. Smoking is bad for me, but it makes me feel better.
I just thought something totally different. You guys can totally bag it, but think of like healthy choices, like food. I saw somebody like going through the grocery store with the grocery cart, and they're like picking things to put in there, and they're trying to find like the healthy things to put in there.
I want this.
Yeah, you guys will be good.
All right, so Kristin will lead Baby Steffi.
So it's time to learn some healthy ways to grieve. I'm taking you here so we can pick out the healthiest thing.
Hi, what are you doing? I am talking, and you know what I like to do? I love to talk, because talking is a great way to get out your emotions. So pick me and we'll talk.
Okay, so you like talking?
Yeah.
You like getting all your emotions out and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take some talking. Lucky talker.
I like to talk.
Me too. Okay. So you like talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pick up some talking and take it with us.
Hey guys! Aren't you interested in self-abuse and drugs and lying to your parents? Drop out of school. Let's go smoke a bowl.
No!
Hey, you guys, I want to tell you about a really wonderful place. It's called the Dougie Center. And you can go, and it's people that have gone through things like you have. And you can talk.
You get to talk?
You can talk, and you can also listen. You can write, you can do a whole bunch of things. There's a lot of things you can do.
Wow, that sounds like a great place.
It's a great place.
Or you can get high and go.
No.
No, you can't get high and go, actually.
The people like him they're not there.
Cyrus, tone it down a little bit while Zach's talking so the audience is focused on Zach. Thanks.
Let you get high.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that I'd participate this much in the skits. I just thought I was going to play music, That's all I thought.
It's just a very supportive place that you can talk.
Oh my god, you get to talk?
And there's a lot of different things you can do in the place. It's a wonderful place.
Sounds so great. Want to try going? Yeah. Okay, we'll get you signed up. Cool. This is turning out better than I thought. Look at this. We got so many fun things. There's talking, writing, the Dudley Center, and even painting. It's so great.
It's not too late.
No!
One of the hardest things for me has been, people don't always understand what I'm going through. And, there's not very many other of my friends who have had parents die. And, the people here are just great, because you can relate to them and they talk to you and they listen, which is also really important, is having somebody that really listens to you.
I didn't really feel guilty, but I felt really upset. And after she died, and I just wanted to stay home all the time. But after I came here, the people got me revitalized, and so I wanted to do a lot more things.
Just support, whether it's been from the Dougie Center or just from other people. It's been really helpful to have people who will listen to you, and also, even if they don't necessarily agree with your opinion, they still give feedback that's positive towards what you think.
Probably the most helpful thing is all the people that I didn't really know about that cared about me, that kind of stepped up to take care of me. And especially the ones who knew that I needed help, but I didn't show it. The people that could tell.
So what I'm picturing is, if that's the audience right there, if we're all in a circle, and if Steffi's starting, she'll be at the front facing here.
My grief trip is like walking on a tightrope. When you think you have your footing, you slip and fall.
I don't know what you guys think about this idea, but being really close together when somebody says what their thing is, and then dispersing out, and then coming back in instead of going around in a circle.
My grief trip is like walking on a tight wire. When you think you have your footing, you just slip and fall.
I actually think it's better than the talking groups because you can act it out, and it's sometimes really hard to describe it in words.
My trip is I'm stuck in an insane asylum, but I'm not insane and I can't get out.
Help me
We started with no idea what we were gonna do, but then we just started talking about one or two things, and just got into this whole huge performance.
Let's talk about being nervous for the performance. You guys want any reminders?
Please, just call me.
Do you guys find breathing helping you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, breathing is generally a helpful thing.
Yeah, I guess it is. You should probably breathe.
Last night, when I was freaking out, I was standing on stage, and I heard people sniffling. I started crying a little bit, and so I was just breathe. So I just breathed, and I felt 10 times better.
I don't want to sound like a bad person, but I see people crying, and I turn around and I just kind of laughed.
I think being alone before the show helps. For me, I personally would like to
just recite things through your head.
Just be alone, just be in my own world.
I'm kind of my toughest critic. It actually helps me to focus on other people. Yeah. So, I don't get so nervous that I start eating myself inside.
If you feel nervous and if you feel jittery, don't push it away. So just be okay, here it is, and move with it, because it's your life.
This is for my mommy. Happy Mother's Day.
This is for my mom. And this one's for my grandma.
Usually the holidays and birthdays are hard for me because she was a huge part of that. People complaining about their mom like, that's really annoying because they really don't know what they have until they've actually lost it. And so I just want to go up to them and, like, tell them, but they wouldn't understand.
This is for Zach and his mom and grandma, since he's not here to let them.
This is for all of us, including Zach,
and just everything we've gone through and how far we've come together.
Hand squeeze anybody?
Yeah.
Sitting.
Oh, you're We're gonna ask a lot of questions in this whole production, and they're gonna come here expecting a lot of answers as well.
Who would I be if my dad hadn't died? Would I have great grades? Would I have other interests? And like how our identity changes because that person died.
Yeah, that's the sucky part about having people die, is that you change as a person after they die. And then if they weren't there, you'd be a completely different person.
If I could have him back and keep the life that I have now, like, everything would be perfect.
That question that we all talked about at the beginning, would you be willing to give up what you've gained to have the person back? And everybody said no. So we'll start with Sarah and go down the line.
Well, I don't have anything to pull out of my bag.
Neither do I. You don't need to. So turn around if you would be willing to give up what you have gained to have the person back.
Through everything I have learned, to live life to its absolute fullest, never underestimate yourself, stand for what you believe in, follow dreams, and that it's okay to express your feelings, my baggage has become a part of me. My perspective on life has changed. My appreciation of friends, family, and myself. And not only have I become more wise and mature, I have become more aware of my surroundings and how precious life truly is. The way I see it, I'm living a life that's right for me.
Even though the last 4 years have been my toughest, I've also grown the most. Death can give somebody, especially a child, such a different outlook on life. It opened my eyes to the truly important things. And also, it has forced me to grow up much quicker than my peers. At times, I felt singled out because of my maturity, but at other times, I felt like I have been given such enormous wisdom through this. So no matter how selfish it seems, all my self-growth is too valuable for me to give up just to change destiny.
There are times I feel like I would give up everything to have them back. I really know that through what I've gained of a sense of self, I've also gained a great deal of knowledge about other people and how they deal with these kind of things, and I'd like to continue helping people who have been through similar situations.
So will you keep it blue when Kristin asks a question? And then turn off the lights for a second just to let the gravity of that question sink in. And then bring it up to the regular lights, and then they'll each turn around.
Turn around if you would give up what you have gained to get back the person you've lost.